Well, here we are, harvest log on the 25th of August. We've got about a day and a half left of wheat harvest, which is great. This is the Zayat, which we've been harvesting off the hill, which is a pretty decent sample actually. Nice bold grains. No idea on Hagberg and protein. I'd imagine Hagberg is going to be okay. And there's a few darker grains just in amongst there as well, which indicates that it might have a bit of protein around it. But we were really just growing this as a feeder, because we don't usually expect to be harvesting wheat off that hill till about now really, last week of August, first week of September. So it's a bit of a gamble trying to grow it as a milling crop there. But this is the intake pit where the trailers go after loading, weighing in. Just over there on the other side of the old bulk sheds. That was our old Grainstore system in there. We've got some fertiliser tanks and some rainwater harvesting equipment on there as well, and a wash down area with an oil separator as well. So once the trailers have tipped up in there, we have trench conveyors, which are, can't really see that very well, but in there, oh no, you can't see it at all. But a pair of trench conveyors there which take it underneath that back wall before it enters the main bit of the plant and the dry room in here. So the moisture at the moment is 12.5%, which is very different to where it was 10 days ago when we were flat out drying. The Svegma dryer is there, 3 burners fired by kerosene, and if I go just through here past the cleaner, we'll just have a little look at the actual how the store works in a bit of detail. Well, it's not really working at the moment. So those conveyors there, 1, 2, 3 and 4, that's the intake conveyors. Those tip into C2, which is the sort of cross conveyor at the bottom before it comes up this elevator, E1. Right up to the top there, can't really see I'm afraid, but dust extraction there before going into the aspirator, which again takes more and more dust out. From there it's down this pipe where it can go anywhere, straight to store, to the dryer, to the cleaner, rotary cleaner here, and then it winds its way through the system before ending up at the top here, heading onto either this belt conveyor, which is shielded in there, and then if we just open this door here, this is the intake pit. Bit of a step down, so that's where we were just looking at that wheat down the bottom. There's the belt conveyor. We're not running it at the moment, we're just waiting for a bit more grain to come back from the fields before coming into the actual store itself here. So we've got five bays of the first bay is the Skyfall, sorry, beg your pardon, Crusoe. Little probes in there, that's a Robidome system that beam the temperature of the grain back to this little meter here before it goes to the Grainstore computer, which we can then use that to monitor the air temperature outside, the grain temperature inside, works out the relative humidity, and then whether or not to switch the fans on or off. So we're just blowing, this is the Zayat that we're tipping into at the moment. It's about 22 degrees outside, so the grain will be probably a bit warmer than that because this was done in the heat of the day. There's the tripper there that unloads it. So we've just got these fans on here blowing at the moment, just taking the field heat out of here. The idea is to try and get these crops down to at least 10 degrees as soon as we can. So we're looking to take the field heat out now, and if we can get it to kind of 17, 18, 19 degrees, that's not too bad. Bit of extraction going on there, so that's taking some dust away. Then we have the oilseed rape in here. This is bunker 4. And then the spring barley at the end here, bunker 5. And then from the plant where all the dryer and everything is, if you go the other way, not on a belt conveyor but just on an ordinary conveyor, that's where we take some of the smaller crops, where we've got some smaller storage for things like peas, linseed. We haven't got any linseed in the ground this year. Oats. We've actually got the winter barley in there, the craft winter barley. The bazooka we've all sold and moved to make space, and these crops will stay in store here. Some of them will start moving out in November, but the majority of this crop will stay in store till the new year, and later on into April, May, and depending on where we can get marketing opportunities. So yeah, brief look around the store. Filling up, which is great, and still got a bit of spare capacity in here, but yeah, all going to plan. So that's the grain store, and sounds like there is a trailer just about to come and tip. So we've got 2 intake pits. This one obviously we're not using at the moment, so that's cleaned down, ready to swap crops or carry on with the harvest. If this first one fills out, we can fill the second one without actually needing to start the plant away. There's a good trailer load coming in. So straight back from the field, we're about 9 o'clock, something like that now. So we keep going to about 10 o'clock. The forecast is good. We should finish our wheat harvest about Tuesday. This is Sunday night now. Should finish Tuesday, and then we will be into some oats, and then a bit of rye, which we're growing for seed, really for ourselves, for game feed and things like that as well. So yeah, another trailer load back from the field.